what's up YouTube? So if you watched my last week's video, you know I just picked up this new welder. Now, the first thing I think I need to build is a good welding cart, so I'm going to go right into that, and that's what I'm going to make today. I'm going to set this to 4 to 5. Here I'll check my workpiece for square by measuring it from corner to corner to make sure the measurements are the same. Well, this is the bottom piece, so that's finished. They're not overly pretty welds. I'm still learning how to TIG, and getting in those tighter spots is something I'm really going to need to get a lot better at, hopefully quick, but I know this takes practice and time, so this is why I'm going to be doing a couple of these projects. I'm lacking a bench too. I'm just using these 2 pieces of aluminum, which kind of stinks, so definitely look out for a welding bench build in an upcoming video. That'll be real soon, because I need to do that. But this is going to make a nice bottom. I'm going to see if the machine will fit in it right now. Yeah, that's going to fit just fine. It's pretty much exactly how I want it. Not super tight, just a little bit of wee-wah. Now that this is done being welded, I can check it for square. 30 and 5/8. 30 and 5/8. Yes. So I tacked it all together in the beginning in a couple spots. That's nice, and that's going to be nice and rugged. Okay, so I'm at the point where I've got my bottom and top piece welded together. As I'm doing this, I'm realizing it may have been a smart idea to actually build a bench before a welding cart. And I'm getting there. It's just kind of tricky, and I'm standing up. I don't have like a good bench to sit at. But yeah, you can also buy these carts, welding carts, for like 40 bucks or 30 bucks at Harbor Freight. And that's great and all, but I wanted to make a cart that's going to fit my welder and my needs perfectly, and I paid, I think, around $35 for materials. Overall, it's going to cost a little more than the other one and a lot more time, but it's going to last me forever, and I'm never going to have to worry about making another one. I got to bring this back to 0 degrees now for the upright pieces. Oh, God. Well, who sees my mistake? That's not gonna work. Son of a... Okay, so my top piece here measures 21 3/4. I need to put this piece so it's that same distance away. Alright. So I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping these square with the frame, which is really important now, so everything lines up right. Originally I tacked them in each corner, and that made it so you couldn't really bend it into place. And what would be best is if I could brace these. If I could have some kind of brace that I could tack onto here and there and make sure it was square. But unfortunately I don't have any really leftover metal to work with here. What I figured I can do is I can just put one tack in the corner, and then I can kind of bend it in right to where it needs to be. So as you can see, this is out of square right now, but I can just bring this over. That's pretty good. It's right where it needs to be. Perfect. So I'm going to take the top and just see if that fits where it kind of belongs. Yeah, that looks like it lines up all just about right. I'm going to grind these off just with the angle grinder with the flap wheel quick. Okay, and the reason for doing that is now this can sit flat on here for those corner welds. And you can start tacking this up now. We'll do the same thing and just tack it in the corners. Alright, so it's all tacked together now. Alright, so now I just gotta start welding this whole thing. Okay, so I made this dimension right here just a little too small for the tank. The tank's 7.5 inches and this is like 7.25. But that's okay actually. What I want to do is I want to just cut a little slot here so that way the tank will sit in there nice and perfect so it can't slide back and forth this way. So I'm going to come in 3.5 on either side. Yeah, that's good. And I'm going to cut right at the bottom because the bottom of the tank is curved, so that'll fit right in there good too. That actually is perfect. That's just what I wanted it to do. Okay, so I set this on here just to kind of see how everything was going to look. And everything looks pretty good. But I think I made a little mistake. When I welded this crossbar in here, I probably should have had it flipped around so that the angle was facing the opposite way and the groove stuck out, so that also supported the bottom of the tank. So I'm going to weld just a little flat piece of stock in there. And then I think then it'll be fine. But I wanted this here so I could put, I'm probably going to put like a thin piece of plywood or something in there. Has this as like a little shelf almost. Fits right where I need it to, so that'll be good. Alright, so I got that bottom piece welded on. I was going to put like a solid piece of something on here to hold the tank in place, but then I was thinking I'm going to have to lift it in and out every time, and that's kind of a pain. So I've got some chain here that I'm actually going to use on there, and I'll weld around the rest of that. Now this is open, so there's a hook, but I need to get an extra chain link, bend it open so I can do the same thing and weld that right here. These pieces of chain welded on, that came out pretty good. I bought a whole bunch of these casters on Amazon. I think I'll put 2 of them here. I'll put the other 2 in the corners. Actually, before I weld the wheels on, I'm going to grind the whole thing down. Just going to grind it so I can put some paint on it and it'll have something to stick. Well, I gotta say, I wouldn't exactly recommend welding these because that smell is really, really bad. And I think the chain is galvanized, and galvanized is actually pretty dangerous to weld. So, I guess next time I'll probably weld some studs on and just bolt them. Some little piece of thread or rod or something. Or just try to grind off this kind of chrome finish first. I have this piece of exhaust pipe that was in my GTI. So I'm going to cut a section of this, probably about 12 inches long, and then I can weld that on just so I can have a spot to put all my welding rods. Well, that cut real fast, so that's cool. Okay, so I got my piece here. Then I just cut out this little circle with a hole saw. I'm just going to weld on there so none of the rods can fall through, and then I'll fill that hole in the middle. I got that cap on and ground it down a little bit so it'll sit flush here. This is where I'm going to weld it. That way I can still get the switch on the back side here, and it will sit right against the tank here. Alright, so I got this all welded on, and I think this thing's ready for paint. But first I'm going to take some measurements here And so we got 9.5 on the inside, 21 3/8. And I'll cut out a little piece of plywood that can go in there, but I'm going to paint it, and then while that's paint's drying, I'll go cut that out. Alright, so here it is, my finished welding cart for my new welder. I'm really happy with how this came out. There's a few minor changes I would have made if I were going to do it again, but overall this is really functional. Rolls around pretty easy. One thing I would change is on the back. The chain holds the tank well, but not as well as I'd like it to, so I added this bungee cord up here just to make sure the tank isn't going to go anywhere. I should have put the two wheels that are under the cross member in the middle. I should have put those all the way in the back. I thought it would just make it easier to drive that way or steer around stuff, but it's a little heavy on the tank side, so I probably am actually going to move those. And I may or may not add a handle. I think I'm going to try and just use the handle on top of the welder to move it for now. And everything tucks under there nice and easily, so I don't think it needs a handle on the front. That's just something that's going to stick out and take up even more space, and I'm trying to not take up a lot of space with everything. That's why I made this pretty much as compact as I could, and that's why I made this special stand instead of going out to Harbor Freight and going and buying one, because also what fun is that? Alright, so if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That'd be awesome. If you want to leave a comment down below, that'd be cool too. If you like what you've been seeing, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to probably be welding up a new welding bench in an upcoming video, so there's that to look forward to. And I'll have a new video up next week. As always, thanks for watching.